What's going on, people? Welcome to FLOC for the love of cars. Today I'm coming at you with a little DIY. I'm going to show you how to change the front brakes on a Nissan ALTIMA. Alright, people out there in YouTube land, what you see in front of you are the essential tools needed in order to complete your brake job. So the first thing you see here are gloves. Gloves are super important when you do brakes because it can get a little messy, so gloves will keep those hands protected and clean even after you're done. Next, you see a socket wrench. The socket wrench is used in order to remove the caliper to get to the pads. Now you see a piston compressor. A piston compressor is super essential because those pistons are poked all the way out, and in order to add the new pads you need to push that piston in. So it's an easy job. It slides right on, no headache. Now you see your brake pads, the most important piece of metal you're going to be putting on your car. These brake pads come with two clips. You put them at the top and the bottom of each pad. And now I added some lubricant. This lubricant is put on the back of the pad in order to stop the squeaking when you apply the brakes. And last but not least, you have your floor jack. This floor jack is used in order to lift the car up so you can have access to the pad and not mess your damn car up, guys. Jacks are very important. Alright guys, so the first thing I did was remove the bolts. I just think it's important. I know I'm using a torque wrench, but I've just been used to this, so it just gives me a peace of mind. When you're done loosening those bolts, you want to use your jack now. You want to find a point under the vehicle that is a jack point and lift the car up. I don't think I need to tell you guys how to use a jack. Just continue to watch. When you get your car up to the desired height, you want to use a jack stand because you want to ensure your safety. Nobody wants to get hurt when they're working on their own car, so it's very important that you use jack stands to prevent you from getting hurt. You don't want those problems, guys, trust me. Now that your car is protected, you're safe, it's time to take all the bolts off. Take each bolt, it doesn't matter which way you take them off, and remove your tire. Put your tire under the car as another form of protection, guys. You can never be too safe. I'd rather be safe than sorry. I don't know about you. If you want to take a risk, it's your life. Now you want to attach your 14mm bolt to your socket wrench and remove the top and the bottom bolt at the back of the caliper. Once you've taken those bolts out, you are now free to remove your caliper. Make sure you put it in a secure position, because if that caliper falls and that brake line cuts or anything happens, you just cost yourself some more money. Now that the caliper is free, you can take your pads off, guys. It's very simple. Just pull it off and make sure you take off those two clips. If your brakes came with different clips, you can replace them. If not, I just advise you to use them again. Now that the clips and the pads have been removed, it's time to apply your new pads. Make sure you put the brake lubricant on the back in order to stop the squeaking. This is very important, guys. Not really, but it makes a difference to me. It's just, like I said, it gives me a peace of mind. As you can see in the video, these clips were a pain in the ass. It took a lot of work for me to get them in. But I sat there and thought, I lost my train of thought when I was actually putting the pads in. So I went in the car, I turned the wheel to the left because it allowed better access to the back of the caliper, and it was easy for me to put that pad in, guys. Remember, anytime you're doing your front brakes, you want to turn the wheel in a way that makes it easier to access the back. Now that you have access to the back, the job becomes a whole lot easier. These pads were a little difficult to get in due to the clip, so I had to put a lot of extra elbow grease in there to get those pads in. I had to keep hitting it with different objects, and I eventually got pads in due to just brute force, guys. It's not that hard. Anyone can do it, man, woman, it doesn't matter. Strength level, you just have to put a little extra effort to get those pads in. Once you get those pads in, guys, the job is pretty much easy. You use your piston compressor, get it over that piston, and squeeze till that piston is all the way in. Once it's in, it's easy. You put the caliper right over those pads and tighten those bolts, and the job is basically over. Now all that's left to do is tighten up those bolts outside. Guys, I'm telling you, this is super important. Triple and quadruple check. Make sure those bolts are as tight as they could be. I know there are torque specifications out there, but this is DIY. We don't have time for that. Just make sure you are safe, because you are driving a vehicle. You may not only hurt yourself, you might hurt somebody else. So it's very important to think before you get out on that road, are all my bolts tight? Guys, I'm telling you, this is super important. But you're not done yet. you have to get in your car and press those brakes and apply pressure. It's going to feel a little loose at first, but as you keep pressing, you'll feel the tension and the feedback coming back in that brake pad. Now you're done with that, you can go out there and drive your car about 35 miles an hour, stop, keep doing that until you know that your car is fully safe to drive on the road. If you feel like there's some little inconsistencies or you feel like it's not safe, I advise you to go to a mechanic, guys. I am not liable for what happens to you out there. Alright people out there in YouTube land, this video is officially over. I hope it was instructional and you go out there and change your brakes. It's not that hard, guys. Anybody can do it, as you can see. I'm not a mechanic, I'm just a guy who likes doing his own work. So if you guys found this instructional, like, comment, share, and subscribe. FLOC, we're out of here.